Just to, build on what you guys just said about Cameron, and I look down, I don't always think this is the indicator, but in this case, I think it is. Cam led us in plus minus. She's plus 12, and nobody else was in plus double digits, right? And so so we have to pick our moments, right? She had a little bit of foul trouble, and she has a limit restriction, which I did go over. So our trainer will probably be frustrated with me about that. But the reality of her impact on the game is really hard to overstate. And the way that she does it, she's one of the smartest IQ players I've ever been around. The way that she's taught herself our offense, tweaks that we're doing, executing every scouting report before she could ever play is remarkable. And so really, really proud of Cameron and how she's impacted the game that way. And I would say Chantel was the other one. Just so many hustle plays, getting us extra possessions, I thought was really, really important. We made a big deal of getting Imari better touches, and specifically on this block so that she could go to the middle to her right hand. And I thought our team did a much better job in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, getting her touches in a place that she could be most effective. And, Mari can't do that on her own. She needs us to be able to move the ball and have patience and persistence in that. And so that was, I think, a major turning point as well. But I cannot overstate the hustle plays of Chantel and Cameron and how that really kept us in it. The other thing that we've been really challenging our team on is to let defense be our anchor. And we were not a very good basketball team on the offensive end today. Thank goodness for 28 points in the fourth quarter. But our defense did, hang on for us. And that was a really big deal. And we're also the number one free throw shooting team. And we were 19 in the Pac-12. And we were 19 for 23 from the the free throw line. And I thought that was really important in the game and to close it out. So it's sort of all those gritty, non-glamorous things that allowed us to pull this game out. I think I said it out on the PA, but we're sort of on the struggle bus. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't think we're back totally emotionally. That was a real gut punch against Stanford, and we've had to have really hard conversations. We've had to have very confrontational things. It's taken a lot of emotion to get to this point, and I think we're going in the right direction, but I think you're seeing some of the ramifications of that. So we're just going to have to stay at it. I just challenged them in the locker room. How selfless are you willing to be? How hard are you willing to fight to get better? What's one more way you can give? I read the quote in the locker room from Coach Wooden about, the quickest way to improve a team, to improve yourself individually. I'm not sure I did that exactly right, but you get the idea. And this will be the telling thing. Now we go on the road, and this will be the telling point of how we respond to that.
I think with a minute or two left to go in the third, both teams are shooting 23%. So obviously a very defensive, grinded-out game. How tough is that to win those types of games when you've taken the gut punch from Stanford and you don't have a ton of bodies?
Yeah, I think pretty hard. I think we proved that it's pretty hard. Just the simplest things like pass and catch. Like we were really sloppy on all of our exchanges, creating the next catch, creating ball reversal, making plays for other people. And, their zone. I mean, we've played against a lot of zones and done really well. And we just it's like we were stuck in mud out there. And so I think it's, I think we're... we're continuing to have to literally look on the inside. I didn't even think it was either team. I just didn't think we were very pretty. I just didn't think we executed very well offensively. I'm not sure that both teams were so stellar defensively. We had moments, but I think we were thank goodness for our defense, because our offense was equally that bad.
And then you guys missed your first 10 threes, and then Natalie hits 2 to start into the fourth. She scores your first 8 points of the fourth. How big was that for having such a big offensive end of the game to have Natalie kind of show out there?
Well, I really got right close to her at the timeout right before the fourth and said, you have been so aggressive for us the last several weeks, and that has not been here the first 3 quarters. but we need you to do it right now. Coming out of the timeout, we ran it out of bounds, a sideline out of bounds, and she got it, pull-up jumper to her left, and that sort of started her going, And I think, I think we need her to be that way all the time. And Riz sort of was having an off night, and we needed somebody else on the perimeter to give us some lift, and Natalie was that person in the fourth quarter. But you guys hit it. I thought the turning point of the game, we went down 7, and I think, you hit it when we hit Cameron at the buzzer at the end of the third to cut it to 5, and then she made the hustle play to get us the 3 coming out in the fourth quarter, and then we sort of, got some momentum from that. But I thought that was a really important turning point that gave us some emotion going into the fourth, because there was not a whole lot.
Yeah, so obviously it wasn't Charisma's best shooting night.
Yeah.
But she still played her 40 minutes. What does this game show about, how much she can impact the game when she's not on her best offensively, and also, what does it show about the rest of the team that you can still pull out a win when she doesn't play this?
Well, I mean, here's the key. This is how you need to know that she's so impactful, is that, and if you take away Jada Curry's last 2 minutes, I would say it was less than this, but she would have been held in single digits. She held her to 4 for 17. And 2 of those buckets came in the last 2 minutes, right? That's how she still impacts the game. She's one of the best perimeter defenders in the country, and she went with a player, I think she had 27 or something against SC a couple nights ago, and she totally shut her down. It wasn't her best night offensively for sure, but I couldn't take her off the floor because nobody could guard and slow down Curry the way that Charisma can.
And one more question.
Sure.
Obviously, you guys had a lot of strengths of defensive stops through the first few quarters, but neither team pulled away by more than 6. What do you kind of say to your team when things are going so bad on one end and not on the other?
Well, I always laugh about, what did you say at that third quarter, or, what was, obviously what I say isn't the determining factor. Otherwise, we wouldn't have played so bad the first 3 quarters. But, I think that, I am proud is we got 10 kills tonight. That kill is 3 stops in a row. And that's sort of how you survive a night like this, is you have an anchor at that level. So, I think that I say to our team, let's get better. I'm proud of them for surviving and for getting, getting the win, finding a way. I think bottom line, I'd rather teach through a gutty win than, an abysmal loss. So, but the reality is we have to get better, and we got to fight for improvement. And we got to fight for a level of toughness. And, we haven't been a team. I do say to them, they have not made any excuses. With all that has happened, they have not made excuses. And they have shown up and continued to fight. And Coach Shannon, I think I've shared this quote with you before, but she always says, your commitments, not your feelings, will determine your destiny. And if we want to find our way into March Madness and into the NCAA tournament, it is going to have to be because we are the more committed, tough, relentless team no matter what. And our commitments have to carry us, and we have to just be committed to giving to each other and getting better week by week.